Hello and welcome today. I hope you're doing well. We'll be talking about ChatGPT, one of the most basic yet one of the most used AI chatbot in the world. But I don't want this to be like any other ordinary statistician. So let's talk about everything like a story. Maybe it's a story about you, your goal, your life. Now, let's say you are a dreamer who dream big, opening your own business, become an entrepreneur, selling your digital product or service. But the thing is, you can't afford any of the thing that is required to open a business. You need content, you need marketing, and you need support most of all. And you can't have any of that. Yet your time is tight and you're feeling left out by your own generation and your burnout is creeping in. And then you discover ChatGPT, a digital sidekick and AI-powered chatbot developed by OpenAI, a company solely built for the purpose of developing AI, artificial intelligence. Now, you tried it out for a couple of hours, and you see it does excellent job. Not perfect, but you can get a satisfactory result. And it deliver up to your expectation after lots of iteration. So you're curious now and you explore what else it can do. And you find out that this AI chatbot is actually capable of doing marketing, giving you ideas, generate ad copy, campaign leads, and social caption. It can help attract more users without hiring a team of marketing. It can recommend SEO keyword that boost search visibility. Now, it can't do all that, but it does a moderate amount of results since the data it uses was cut off back in 2021. Maybe there have been some update, but still lacking on real-time data. So there's other better tools, but it gives you an easy access to better things. It can make things a lot easier. It can search, it can do research, and it can bring you the satisfactory result after an amount of time and iteration. You also discovered that it can generate email, blogs, video script, and other content-related stuff with just one click in a second. It can adapt tone, length, and demand according to the audience. It can edit and personalize it instead of writing from scratch. You also find out it's super smart, it's supportive, and it can give you a smarter strategy than your own. It can write thoughtful support and email FAQs, suggest pricing model and engagement strategy. And it's like having a business consultant on call 24/7. Now with ChatGPT Premium, it's becoming much more easier to talk to ChatGPT and talk to machine, learn about everything in real time. Because it gives us access to research and voice data. You also found out that it can do a lot of digital work for you, like building a script, creating your own script, and debugging it from the scratch, suggest better code structure and documentation. I really used it myself, and I found it one of the best thing to note your code. So this is really helpful when you're working with API integration and optimization. But here's the thing that you notice, that it does also have lots of limitation. First of all, the real-life knowledge data, which was cut before 2021, and then that was updated in late 2024. Probably still gonna update in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it doesn't have the real-time data that we have as human, and that the world is really changing so much right now. And since it doesn't have the data, it can't actually keep up. But it does have a search engine built in that where it can search the internet and learn the new data and information. But it still doesn't work like it was trained to. Well, it can also sometimes misinterpret from, even can make an error in simplest plus or minus calculation. And for that error and hallucination rate, it constantly is in need of human check and accuracy. So yeah, this is your AI story, how you find out your AI and how you can use it to your advantages. Now this AI transformed your life from as a solo creator, and it boosted your productivity across marketing, content, coding, and support. And still learning, and it's still learning to balance its automation with oversight. Just like you, as a human, you'd have to learn continuously and adapt. As human, this is the best thing we can do, adapt. And as AI, this adaptation is taking a new form. The world is changing every day with new development. And you really believe it now, since you know ChatGPT exists. Well, can you really trust an AI with your dream? Or do you still prefer your own team and human interaction more than AI? If you're still low on budget, I don't think you do have any option. To start your business, you should take help from AI. So yeah, that did well from me. Hope you learned something new and it shifted your perspective a little. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Can a machine learn to talk like a human? If a machine can mimic human speech, does it understand what it's saying? Well, the answer is not really. It mimics based on pattern and data, not meaning. It's like a parrot who has been trained over and over same phrases, and in the end, they can do mimicking. Now, mimicking is a really interesting idea because mimicking is the first thing that humans learn in their early ages. They learn to differentiate faces, they learn to differentiate between phrases, and they learn to differentiate between tests. And when they first start talking, they learn the mimicking and just copy their parents. And it evolved into something else we call conscious. So this is really early steps for AI too. Now, AI has been here since almost half a decade now. And it's like a mimicking phase for a human. A human of 5 years would also do the mimicking. And AI is doing the same. So yeah, even if it does have much potential, it still isn't the baby step. So let's talk about the technology behind AI. LLM, or large language model, which is a derivative and a longer term that come from machine learning or ML. Suppose you have a toy that is integrated with an LLM or machine learning called Tessa, the talking toy. Now Tessa is smart and she listens to what story told by kids. Over time, she learns how kids talk, joke, and ask questions. She starts finishing their sentences but doesn't really understand them. But it can predict without understanding them because to him, it's like doing math. And only thing you understand is math. Now, what I started doing is I integrated all the hearing, all the frequencies in the world into Tessa's ear. Now, Tessa now connects to billions of books, songs, and conversation worldwide. She can now discuss planets, nutrition, and even write rhymes. But still, she's just predicting word based on what she has seen. She found pattern, and she is using those patterns to predict the next thing. Now, this Tessa thing, or the talking robot, does have a brain, or something similar to our brain, which we call neural network. It's like a neuron connected to another neuron and creating a memory. There's billion of it in our head, but an AI can hold more than trillion and can be trained on millions of data. Just like your brain has neurons, Tessa uses a layer of digital neuron. This helps her spot language pattern, what words follow another, find the relationship, and predict the next one. The more data it sees, the better she gets at guessing the next word. What's a large language model? Let's talk about that. We have been talking about large language model without actually talking about this large language model, LLM. A best example of LLM would be ChatGPT, like our talking friend Tessa. But ChatGPT has been trained on lots of data from the internet, unlike Tessa, who has been hearing everything. ChatGPT got all the data as a text. It has trillions of adjustable knob called parameter, like a neuron, as I just said. This lets it write poetry, code, email, even essays, and rhymes. Now, it's sometimes there's a repeat rude word, things she can learn. Human guide her. That's not okay to say this, or this is better. This teaching method helped clean up her responses over time. Now imagine Tessa is a friend of kids, that Tessa can't use bad languages or curse word. But since I have been giving her a lot of information around the world, Tessa started talking nonsense. So I tell Tessa, or our talking friend, that you can say this. You should say this instead. It does have a multiple result ready all the time, so why not just discard the bad ones and deliver the good ones? Tessa listened, just like AI bot ChatGPT. So that's why OpenAI is hiring lots of human intervention to teach the AI what is bad and what is good. And training AI is not that hard. It's hard, but it can be doable by a couple of people or a team of some people. But teaching it what is bad and what is good takes much more than that. And this is called reinforcement learning with human feedback. Now, it sounds smart, but she doesn't feel, think, or understand. Yet remember, this is just math and calculation, basic calculation of 0 and 1 for them. They don't understand what is sad, what is normal, and what is happy thing. They're smart because they can guess, not a conscious thinker. Now let's do a quick recap. Tessa is a toy version of a language model, or a representation of LLM that we're currently talking about. Language model gets next word using pattern for past data. LLM or supercharged version of massive training data or machine learning. Now, these are called LLM because a machine learning algorithm can be just from 100 kilobyte to 1 MB. And then there's large language model, which can be up to petabyte. You know how big the petabyte is? Over 1,000 times more than a gigabyte or terabyte. So human help fine-tune what's okay and what's not okay by using reinforcement learning with human feedback. So this is the thing how LLM works. So now you know LLM is just a language model that learns, calculate, and find pattern and then predict the next thing. It's not smart, it doesn't feel, it doesn't have consciousness, but in our sense of smart, this is what we call smart. Whoever can guess, whoever can make the best decision is the smart one. Although it cannot decide without human intervention, but it still can guess and predict the future very much accurately. So yeah, this is what LLM is for, this is how they work, and this is how they should be made ready. Well, that is all about from me and Tessa and part of LLM. Thank you. Have a good day. Hope you learned something new. Hello and welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Today we'll be talking about ChatGPT and how to navigate through the desktop version and mobile version, if there is any different, and how can I make use of this ChatGPT to become a little bit more future-proof. Whether you were just a beginner or just a curious person who didn't have much of a chance to get a hold of ChatGPT or any kind of AI chatbot, now might be your chance to do it within a few amount of time. And this is going to be really important. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, you really should. And this video might be one of the best to help you out. All right, let's take a look. First of all, to use it on desktop, you should probably visit chat.openai.com. Like this, chat.openai.com. Click enter, and this should take you to the ChatGPT official website. Now, usually this sidebar is collapsed. So what you have to do is press on it, and there will be sidebar. This is a record book of all of your conversation. And I know you might have trouble finding that one conversation you had was really interesting and very informative from all of that because you didn't name any of that. ChatGPT just named it itself. That's why you can use search chat. Here you can select the chat, or you can select a topic, or you can just select information. Majority of this information will be scanned, and the conversation that matches the most will be given to you. You can also open new chat. You can go to library, which shows the GPT or customized version of GPT. Our GPT. In library, you will see your generated images done by OpenAI's ChatGPT. And in GPTs, you can find different sorts of GPT, which is the customized version of ChatGPT. You can also use Sora. Well, if you're a paid member, that is. The Sora is actually OpenAI's own video generator that lets you generate videos on demand. You can also explore all of this. This is really realistic, and yeah. Anyway, we don't have that much time to explore. So let's see what else does this offer. So that is in the right, and in the left, this is in the right. So in the right, you'll see some option to customize your ChatGPT, which include custom instruction. You should say what the ChatGPT should do whenever you use the catchphrase or your training word. You can also go to settings from here, see available plans, and customize your keyboard shortcut. You can also see terms and policies if you have not. I don't think you ever will. And you'll also see an option to get search extension of ChatGPT. Anyway, what you'll see the most of the time is this chat box. And the tools available to you. You can not only get text, but also get images, code, get a research from this chat box. You can also tell the ChatGPT to think harder and for longer and to correct its output by pressing on this. And you can also tell the ChatGPT to use web to search and match the information. It might not have the up-to-date data. It might have the data of previous 1 to 3 months old. So you should click this if you want the ChatGPT to use internet. Anyway, let me show you some example. So suppose I'm going to tell ChatGPT about itself, or I'm going to ask it about itself. So I can just say, so tell me about you. Click to enter. I start talking. Now, if I clicked this, search the web, and then ask that, so tell me about you. Now this is going to search the web. As you can see, it searched the web. And it's again, which means it knows that it did have this conversation before. Now, if you want a ChatGPT to have more thoughts, or if you want it to take more time into thinking, then you should probably just tick mark this, think for longer. And let's see what it gives me. So tell me about you. As you can see, this is a more short, conscious, and structured version because it knows that people usually like a structured and shorter version. And through the thinking process, it just made it work. So anyway, if you want to upload your any kind of documents, photos, video, audio, this is where you can do it. If your stuff's media and document is in any kind of cloud drive, you can go through here and choose any of that. You can also choose the models. There are numbers of model that you can use it for free, and there are model that you can get early access if you're using a premium version. Yeah, it can also do research. It can take a lot of time, but it does give you a lots of data information. It can search through up to more than 300 websites at once and come back with your information. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it did used to have ChatGPT 3.0, 3.5, but now they are gone because this version, all of this 3 version uses internet, and the previous version didn't. Anyway, this is how you do it. And if you don't like any of the response, you can just always click try again, and it will reconfigure its answer and give you a different output. You can give it feedback about good response or bad response. You can test this to make it louder to hear on your ear. All right, you can also copy it just by pressing here. And if you had on or more than that iteration, number of iteration, you can click here to see previous iteration and click here to see the most recent iteration. It just creates a book on here. And you said that is all from here. And you can also share this chat with anyone. You can create link and share it with your friends. Look at here. I did find a new information about this thing like this. Anyway, so this was on the desktop version. And you do actually have an option to go for mobile version. So let's take a look at that. How does that work? So let's take a look at mobile version again. So suppose this is your phone, you can just head over to Play Store and search for ChatGPT here. Install it. And you should see the same kind of interface that you did in the desktop, but in smaller size. Like, let me show you. Oh. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, exactly like this. So anyway, this is how you navigate through all of the ChatGPT and use it wisely. So thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new and like this video and instruction. With that, I'll finish my video. Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, and welcome. Today we'll be talking about prompting. Not only prompting, but also all kind of thing that will put to prompt. The prompt here I'm using is actually not the prompt as dictionary suggests. It's the prompt that we use to instruct AI. So it basically prompt is instruction of AI. But we'll get into more of that in a second. But let's finish the intro. I hope by the end of this video, you'll be able to know and able to do your own prompt, give a better input to get better output. You'll know how does bad prompt work and how does a good prompt look like. All right, let's begin with what is prompt. Well, a prompt in any input, any context, it's just input for AI. It could be text, it could be image, it could be video that, well, now it's happening much more. Now we have multimodal time series multimodals model that is making it happen. We don't have the limitation of text. We have access to all kind of modal like text, audio, images. And with all of that, we can instruct AI. We can also use code and example to give this prompt to AI. And the system that takes the prompt is AI machine like ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud from Anthropomorphic, could be Llama from Facebook or Meta. So yeah, this is prompting, and basic prompting would be just explain quantum physics in simple terms or explain computer science, explain prompt engineering. All right, so let's take a look a bit deeper. Why does prompt matter? Well, let me ask you a question first. Have you ever wondered how a few words can control what an AI says? Well, this is where prompt engineering shines. It can write 3 words, but it's specify everything what it wants, but it gets the output done. So prompts are a bridge between human and machine learning. So with prompts, we can interact with machine. We can make them understand, or we think that they understand. They actually don't understand. That they understand our thoughts, our emotion, our tone, our tendency, our intention. And we'll explore what prompts are, how they work, and how you can master them to unlock the true power of AI. So how prompt works in AI? Well, as I said, prompts are like instruction to guide the AI to focus on tone, format, and content. A well-crafted prompt brings a better result. So here is a prompt structure that you probably had seen before or used it for yourself. Much common. What is the capital of France? Write upon our spring. Your travel agent. Now play a role of that and give me information based on what travel agent do about buying a ticket. Something like that. Or you can ask it a scenario-based question. Imagine you are a chef in Italy. Imagine you are a boxer in the ring. Now, what will you do in this situation? What will you do in that situation? How would you tackle this risk? What would you do if you were in my place and my place is like this? Okay, so these are the type of prompt that AI can receive. Actually, it can receive tons of prompts. There's a limitation. You can see the library that is offered by OpenAI, Google Gemini, even Cloud, the product of Anthropomorphic, and many others. There's a tons of prompt library that you can use and get better at prompt engineering right now. And here is an example of good and bad prompt writing. Well, you can just tell me something about yourself to an AI. You can also tell the AI that, tell me something about yourself that I didn't know. Now, which answer is going to give you a more specific version of your reply? Now, don't worry about that, what you know and what you don't know. The ChatGPT does have an idea by now. Well, it didn't have before, but you are obviously using the latest version. So the ChatGPT we do have, currently they know what you know and what you don't know, or have the slight idea about you. So it might just ask you the question about what you know or what you don't know. Anyway, so this is just first iteration. Now we can move on to second iteration and ask it to tell me about themselves that we didn't know and I'd like to know. And my parents are gonna like it, my kids are gonna like it, my brothers are gonna like it. All right. So now it's gonna give it more average version or more specific version of this interaction. You can also ask it to tell me about yourself in a math calculation, and it will try to do it. Well, you can be specific more and more, and you can keep being like that as long as you want. Alright, so you know how does bad prompt differ from good prompt, and how does iteration brings better result every time. Well, not every time. Sometimes you do get a minus result, actually, worse result, which you don't want. Alright, so here's the tips for tuning your prompt. You have to be specific, set a context, the step-by-step instruction, and use formatting and rules. Rules actually really helpful. Suppose you want help as a teacher, like the teacher would have given you from your homework, for your homework. So instead of asking for the result, you should ask the AI to play the role of seventh grader, teacher, and solve this as a teacher. Now that AI should have a more different idea about your answer now because it's playing a role and it's very serious about its role. Now there are some real life uses of prompting. People often uses it for creative writing, which I really don't recommend because creativity should come from human mind and AI should do the heavy load. And many people use it for coding and debugging, for education and tutoring, as I just said, for productivity, planning, making everything work faster and easier, simulation and role play. Let's say role play that'll give you an advantage, and simulation in different kind of scenario also provides same kind of advantages. All right, so here's some list of advanced prompting. How does it look? Well, advanced prompting are like stepwise action a lot. Now, what it is, I'm going to tell you. So, prompt chaining is like a chain of thought. So, what you do is break down a bigger problem and execute the smaller problem one by one. Do an average, get the best result. Do an average, and keep doing it like this. Meta prompting or prompts about prompts. Instead of prompting yourself, you can ask the ChatGPT to give you the best version of this kind of prompt to be more specific, to be more creative. This works if you don't know really anything about yourself, still want to be specific. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a different version of prompt and use any of that prompt to prompt the ChatGPT to get the result. If you can't be creative, you just have to choose one option. Actually, creative people also does the same thing, but they do have the option in their mind, the generic option. All right, so you can do this, or you can use a template. Now, what is template? If you ask this, I'm going to say it's like copying a prompt and using and changing this variable every time you use it. Suppose I'm a day trader and I want to know about stock market. I want to know about Meta right now and predicts 7 days. Next 7 days. Then I want to know about NVIDIA and predicts 10 days. So I'm going to ask the ChatGPT to tell me about NVIDIA and its current stock prices and predict how it's going to be in 10 days. Now, if I want to use those again, I just have to copy it, paste it, and change NVIDIA to Tesla to Microsoft, whatever the next product or next stock I want to keep track of. And then instead of 10 days, I can just say 7 days, 1 days, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Could be anything. Anyway, so these are some example of advanced prompting, But before I finish it, I want to give you some quick recap. Just to have an idea that you have an idea about what I was talking about. So yeah, prompt shift AI behavior. Whatever you say, shape the behavior and response of an AI. A good prompt will get you a better result than a bad prompt. You know how to do your own prompt in a better way than before. So you should be better at everything because AI is evolving and we should evolve too, unless we're going to lose and stay behind AI and let the AI take over the world, as the timer says. Sorry, you have to practice, become diverse, and adapt. This is just human nature to adapt. And you should obviously experiment, iterate, and learn from it. So that would be all of that from me. Hope you learned something new and have a good day. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about AI prompt structure and clarity. And I pray and hope that by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand how does prompt work, what is the anatomy of it, what makes a good prompt, and what makes a bad prompt. And you'll be able to do your own prompt because you know how a good prompt works. So you can construct your own good prompt and you'll be able to know about library that many prompt engineer uses. All right, let's get started then. First with introduction. What is prompt? Well, prompts are the primary way of human and machine interaction. It's mean this is a way that we can talk to the AI and we can convey our message about our intention, about our position, and about what we want, demand, and analyzing. While a well-crafted prompt can yield precise, insightful, and relevant responses. Conversely, a vague, ambiguous, and bad prompt often results in poor output. The goal is to develop prompt that clearly communicate intent, context, and desired outcome. Alright, so this is all about prompting, and the main idea of prompting is this, to be more clear. Now be a little more specific now. What is prompt? Well, a prompt is basically an instruction that is given to AI. There's descriptive prompt that you have to describe, an instructional prompt that just break down a big input to a little output. That could be a summarization, could be a little question, something like that. Or it could be conversational prompt, when we just try to have a conversation with the AI machine. Good prompts are specific, direct, and unambiguous. So let's take a look at how good prompt look. That time you have good prompt. Well, there are actually 4 essential parts in a good prompt, which is context. It provides our background, instruction, clearly state what to do. Desired output, define the expected result from format, and constraint. Impose limits on where to stop and where to start, such as word count, tone, keyword. Context. Now let's talk about what is context. Well, setting the stage. Context informs the AI about the situation, audience, or purpose. Without context, response can be generic. For example, without the context, write an article about AI. Now, this is very vague and very simplified. Now, with context, let's see what it gives. With context, we can write a 500-word article. Well, 500-word article is the key word here for tech-savvy reader on how AI is transforming healthcare. So you provided the limitation, word count, and your audience, and then your topic. So all of that actually called context together. Now, instruction. Whenever you said give this 500 word, that was an instruction. So this is like that. Ambiguity leads to vague answer. Instructions should be explicit and action-oriented. Instead of talk about renewable energy, you can ask it to be more specific. Ask it list 5 renewable energy sources, describe how it contribute to sustainability. Now this make the response much easier to understand because you're just getting the answer to your question and less vague as an output. So let's talk about output. To get a better output, you need to give a better input. Like telling the AI format you expect helps it tailor the responses accordingly. You could just say create a bullet list of pros and cons, and you can write a short story in first-person perspective. You can tell it to output a JSON object with user details. Now this is format. Whenever you said bullet list, this is a format of writing. Whenever you said first-person perspective, this is a format of storytelling. Now, whenever you say JSON, this is a format of logging. Could be JSON, XML, or CSV. Now, constraints are the limit. Now, a good balance comes from limiting and giving freedom altogether. So you shouldn't only just give it freedom and creativity, but also impose limits. Constraints guide AI to deliver a specific requirement. Common constraints include length, in a formal tone, and include term, blockchain security, and leisure. Let's see some example of structured prompt. Well, an unstructured prompt be just a little vague instruction made of 2 or 3 lines, or just 1 word, 1 line or 2 or 3, 4 words. And a structured prompt should look like 150 words. Explain the process, give an example. It could be just simple term, could be specific about the format and could tell a lot more than it gets. So why structured is better? Because it specified the audience, limit the length, and it's clarified the complexity. So there are some common mistakes that people make, and these are being overly broad. I know you're trying to do a better job writing a better prompt, but you shouldn't just go over. Keep it short, conscious, and limited. Giving conflicting instruction. Be formal and casual. Now this cannot be it. If something is formal, it cannot be casual. So this kind of conflicting instruction does conflicting result and brings conflicting output. Ignoring the AI capability and limit. Now this one is really common and really out there because not everyone understands that AI was trained based on some biased data. Now, if you ask the AI to tell me the best thing about February, now the AI, suppose the AI is biased with US data. Now this AI can give you the result that the best thing that February is famous for is Black History Month. This same kind of thing could happen in anywhere else. Maybe in general, it could say February is really popular for leap year. Or some people might say that it's really popular for International Language Day. But yeah, the data is given to AI could be biased. So you have to understand this limitation and capability of AI and the method of the training. And set your command and instruction and write your prompt according. So here are some tools and tips that you can follow to write a better prompt. You can write practical advice for better prompt, like use prompt template for repetitive task. You could just say that I want to go to that place, translate that from to that language. So this could be a template. Now suppose by using this template, I'm writing, I want to go to school. Translate that to Japanese. Now I have to do it multiple times, and in multiple places. Now I could just copy it, keep it in my clipboard, and use that again and again, changing the location that I want to go to hospital, translate that to English. And I can again say I want to go to market, translate that to Chinese. So this is how template works. You just copy it, make the variable, and change the variable. Break down complex question into steps. You can also break down complex question into steps. This is actually one of the core functionality of prompt engineering because this is related to chain of thought. And what it does is break down a bigger problem into smaller steps, execute one step at a time, step by step. And if it have to, it find the average result and give you an overall result. Test and iterate. Now the prompt you will be giving at first will not be perfect. Obviously, no matter how good you are, you will not be satisfied with your first prompt. So all you have to do is keep iterating, learn from it, and evolve, and do the next one better than before. Evolution is part of humanity, and this is also a core part of AI. So to work them together, you need to follow the rules that you both follow. Ask for example, explanation to ensure clarity. Now, this is one of the things that many people does not do, but it really helps. Because when you ask for clarity, it generates its own responses. And when you ask for example, it take a look at its own response and fix it according to example or the clarity receipt. Now, that should be all of that, but let's take a quick recap of what we have learned about. We learned about tools and tips. We learned about some common mistakes that people make while prompting. We learned about the structure of bad prompt and good prompt. We learned about constraint, the limit, and the freedom and the balance that we should give to the AI as prompt engineer to get the best output. And talking about best output, you should always specify, be more specific, target a specific number of audience to get a desired perfect output. And while you're instructing to get a perfect output, you should be direct about it. And you should set the stage for context. And we learned about anatomy of a good prompt, which is just context, instruction, output, and constraint. And we learned about the definition of prompt. Now let's see. That will be all. Thank you. Hope you have a good day. I'm a Wanda Wokia, and today we'll be talking about mastering prompt technique, or how to master it. Some tips about prompting. And by the end of this video, I'm confident that you'll be able to know how to do a better prompting, give a better input to get better result. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Why doesn't AI just get it? Why does it give so many weird answers? Well, to put it simply, they just need clarity. You see, they have been trained with tons of millions of data information that can cross the limitation of a petabyte, more than a petabyte amount of data. So this is the amount of data that was being fed to the AI. And this AI is now suffering from hallucination because it's really easy for it to get to another topic from on topic because it has so many relation to on the word. It's just give the hallucination. Now, these are also the accuracy problem reside. So all you have to do is guide it to the better result. So all you have to do is remember that you're not actually asking question, you're guiding to your result. Now let's talk about zero-shot prompting, where you don't really need much of guidance. You can just ask it the question as it is. Suppose you want to know about the capital of France. You could just ask it. The AI will give you an answer. But sometimes you just want a short answer. That could be, what is the capital of France? Explain in one word. Or you could just simply say, on the word, answer. And this should give you the answer. You could also say, explain in details to get a better details. Get more details about France. Okay. So there's another thing called persona, where you can ask a ChatGPT to roleplay as your nutrition expert and as your sarcastic friend. And if you want them to know about your personal domain, some knowledge about your sarcastic friend that the AI doesn't have, you should give it. And if you want the AI to actually be more sound like your friend, you could just say sound a bit more empathetic or sound a bit more sarcastic. This way the model and the ChatGPT or the AI version you're using will adapt to your need. Now, context. Adding context is one of the baseline of giving prompt. So what is context? Well, context is essentially giving background to your information. Now, suppose you were asking about France. You could also ask about Gotham. Now, Gotham is a real city as well as in DC. So if you ask, what is Gotham? It probably will give you an answer from real life. Or if the DC version is more popular, then it's probably gonna give you the name of the DC city. Or there's a TV series called Gotham. So yeah. So now all you have to do is ask something like, what is Gotham in context of DC? And this AI will be forced to give you the version of DC. And if you're talking about the series, you have to just say, what is Gotham in the context of TV series or series? Another example would be Python. A Python could be a snake or could be a programming language. Now, whatever you want to know, you have to give it a context. Suppose you want to know about Python in real life, you could say, tell me about Python in context of real world, our jungle, on nature. Now, this will give you a Python, a real world. But if you want to know about Python programming language, you could say, in the context of software development, what is Python? Now, that is why context is really important. And you should be careful about adding your context because a context can mislead and give you a correct result all at once. A few-shot prompting. Now, if you want to give more accurate input to the AI to get more accurate result, you should really exercise this. Feature prompting is when you give it tons of example and do it in loop. Could be 3 or 4 iteration. Now this iteration and example makes the feature prompting. Now this could be, same thing about Python. Let's talk about, I want to make a new Python. Suppose I made a toy Python. So you can say just, I have a toy named Python. Now, if you have a toy that looked like a horse, what do you give me in the context of software development? This will probably give our result that is closely to the software development and the horse. Now, my point is that you have to just give more than one example and go through iteration. And that will produce a feature prompting. And when the time comes, you'll probably know how to use it. Now, opposite of P-shot is single shot, when you have to just give one example. For example, you could say at first, "Glurp is a happy moment." And then ask ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, "Today was such a glurpy day." And complete the rest of the story. Now, ChatGPT knows what is glurp is, even though it's a slang used between your friends. Now, ChatGPT knows it, and they can use this example and definition as in your story and context. Chain of thought. When you have a bigger problem and you want to get the accurate result, it's often really hard. So this is where chain of thought come in. This is really popular, one of the core fundamental technique of prompt engineering, because chain of thought break down a problem into smaller steps and then execute this step by step. You could ask it to break down this problem, or you could ask it to just think in step by step. And then this will lead to a better reasoning and a better result. One of the example is here. Suppose Roger has 5 balls. He buys 2 cans, and one of the cans hold 3 balls. Well, actually, both of the cans hold 3 balls per each can. So how many balls does he have? Well, to do that, you could just do this thing, 5 plus 2 into 3 equal 11. Or you could just say, you could do the multiplication first, 3 balls in 2 can. And then in the second step, you can do 5 plus 6. And that will bring you into 11. So this is how it's done. You have to break down the problem into little steps and then execute them one by one. If you want, you can combine the result, or if you need, you should do an average of the result. Okay, so this is what chain of thought is. It helps thinking. It helps you think better. It helps you understand the process better and get more accuracy in case there's a problem hallucination. Now, least to most prompting is a great or complex reasoning. This is same as chain of thought. It also breaks down a big problem into smaller first. But what it does is solve each of them at a time and then combine it. You could also ask for multiple answers. Suppose you have a confusion, you want some opinion, or you are brainstorming some ideas about your novel. You could ask it to give you more answer, more than 3, or a list of answer or it could be a list of answers in a table explaining its behavior. So this is what is multiple answer. Now, if I just continue it like this, there's actually tons of prompt that will never be finished. So that's why I have to slow it down. But there's a lot of things that I didn't discuss, like meta prompting, symbolic reasoning, react, reason plus act, and sequential prompt. Now, if you are really curious about it, you can look them up yourself. And because of the limitation of our time, I just have to finish it here. But before I go, let's do a quick recap of our technique that we have learned. We learned about zero shot technique, which is just adding your question to the list and give it a little more context, like what do you want? If you want description or just a single word answer, one short answer or long answer, something like this. A short example is just giving tons of example, more than 2 example, and doing lots of iteration is the hardest one, but it's give the most accurate results if you need more accuracy. Chain of thought is more or less to least to most. Chain of thought and least to most prompting both to break down a problem and execute those problems step by step. At least to most has more advantages in combining them or making average of the answers. You could use persona or context. You want to have a specific type of opinion. Suppose you want an opinion from lawyer or your nutrition expert or your friend. You could ask ChatGPT about role playing your friend or lawyer, and then give it some context that what the lawyer is, what do you do, and if this was the ChatGPT version of your lawyer, what would he do in next step, something like this. So yeah, just before I go, I just want to say that AI isn't all knowing something. It's about just asking. So all you have to do is question better to get to closer to your answer. And you have to stay curious, keep prompting. And prompt engineering is really thoughtful communication. So be clear, be specific, and keep iterating. Hello and welcome. We'll be talking about some common mistakes that prompt engineering often makes. And we'll try to solve each of those problems by giving a better example. All right, then, let's dive in. We'll be talking about these 3 problems, and this will be our main focus today. Our weight command on the most common problem, overloading the prompt with too much information. Actually, this is much more common to a prompt engineer as a beginner than the other one, than anything else, and lack of specificity. All right, then, let's talk about them one by one. Weak or unclear prompt. And what does it mean by weak or unclear word? Well, you could just say, tell me something about science, or you could just ask, what do you want to know? Suppose you want to know about Newton's 3 law of motion. You could ask the ChatGPT about it. Instead of saying, tell me about something science, which is a very broad and vague topic, you could say, tell me about 3 laws of motion by Newton. You have to understand that generic and weak prompt will lead you to generic and weak answer. If you give a really good input or really good prompt, you'll get a really good answer. Now, what is the problem there when you used something about science? Well, this is a broad topic, so much so that it could just give you an endless amount of information and it can never be done with it. So yeah, that was really endless and unfocused. And when you explained Newton's law, that is structured, educational, focused, and specific. So be assertive and clear with your intent. Now let's talk about the second problem we often face: overloading the prompt with information. An example is explain history, geography, and biology in one paragraph. Now, if this is a generalized content, AI will work better when focused on topic at a time. So ask it with same question like summarize World War II in one paragraph. Or instead of saying explain history, geography, or biology, you could just ask it to tell me something about history, some fun fact. You could say, tell me history of World War II, and then summarize it in one paragraph. You could ask, give an overview of plate tectonic. So these are called specific prompt, which is very specific and structured about their focus on the topic. All right. So third mistake that we often face is vague or undirected prompt. You could say just write an article, but AI will give you just a random article. Now you won't like it because you're not looking for the article that was given to you. You wanted an article about animal, about panda. So write about it. Instead of saying write an article, say write an article about panda. It will. And if your prompt is really unclear, this will just stall the conversation. You'll lose your time and you will lose your precious money. So, yeah, to be safe with time and money, you just have to make an effort to write it better. So there's another way that we could improve that version of prompt. You could mention some constraint to those. You could say, write a 300-word article in World War II instead of just saying write an article of World War II. Now, that will be limited, but maybe you didn't need more than 300. So whatever you need, think of yourself, then give it to the ChatGPT. You could also include the date, country involved, and outcome so that it never misses those things. So what changed here? Well, it changed the article from just an article and now is very much specific about word count. It sets a constraint and it's much more specific. This prompt is better, so you'll be expecting a better response. Now, before I go, I want to just give you some tips. You just have to use a specific parameter, include the format like bullet list, paragraph. If you want JSON file, JSON. If you want the Word file, you can even get that. Even you want some PPT file, you can also get that. So mention your audience, your goal, and your audience. If you are writing a content, suppose you are preparing a study plan for your students, so tell the ChatGPT about that. This is going to be for a student. This is going to be for professional or a beginner level. Let's do a quick recap before I go. So we talked about weak or vague command and learn how to solve it, how to make it better for us. We learned about overloading multiple questions into one. And we also talked about how to solve it. And we talked about lack of detail or specificity. And how can we be more specific about our topic? Okay, so all you have to do from now on, since you know all the secrets, you just have to practice. Refine your question. If the response isn't helpful, give clear task with context, constraint, and example. So I hope by now you know about context, constraint, and example. If you don't know, context is giving your prompt a little bit of background check. Constraint is when you want to limit your output. And example is when you want something like something. So think of AI as a student, not your boss. It might have a lots of information, but it not creative. It's not smarter than human. It just have a lots of information. So give it a good assignment and keep checking which does work and update your prompt. Maybe create a template. And there's a tons of websites that support prompt template. You could use that. All right. So that'll be all from me. Hope you liked the video and thank you for watching. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about email, resume, or cover letter with ChatGPT and this video about how to make the best use of ChatGPT and get the best results out of it. Okay, so let's talk about resume first. So to write about resume with ChatGPT, go to ChatGPT, chatgpt.com, and you could just say, write me a resume. And give your example here. My name is that, blah, blah, blah. Name, address, number, everything that you could think of. Or you can go to Google and search for template for resume. I know the best thing will be ETS friendly resume template. And you can see this, there's lots of template that we can copy. This is one of that, and there's actually a lot more. This is another template. And there's a lot here. So I think I like this one. So should just click it and this will prompt you to open an account and then you can download it. Or you can take a screenshot. Copy the screenshot and give it to ChatGPT. And then tell it to write me a resume and this template. My name is Jason. Address is Barrett. Number 911. Well, this could be, I mean, I'm not going to give all of my information and kind of bore you, but this is how you do it. I hope you get the message and then click enter. And then ChatGPT will scan the template and try to write your resume in this format. All you have to do is just copy it and paste it in your Word, or you could say turn it into a Word file. This is using a Python program to convert this text to documents. Done. So this is how you get your resume, which is very much ATS friendly, within a minute with ChatGPT. Now we're done with the resume part, but we still have to write a cover letter. And you can do the same thing again. You can search for cover letter, template free. And you can get lots of them everywhere. Execute the Microsoft and check there. You can again do this. You can download it either way, or you can take a screenshot like me. If you have a limitation on your ChatGPT uses, maybe you should download it. Or if you're using a premium version, you should take a screenshot. It saves time. Oh, so do this thing again. Follow this template and write me a cover letter from this information. Then submit your information that you want in the cover letter. If you're not sure what you should give, you should really take a look at the cover letter that you're given, and now you should get a good look at this, and this will give you some idea about what you should write and what information should you use to write a cover letter. All right, so this is it. You just click it, and this gives you a cover letter. Now, I could just ask it to give me a Word file, but I can also ask it to give me a Word file combined with resume and cover letter. Yeah, give me a Word file that has both that resume and cover letter. Most of the time, the information you have to give here is probably going to be covered by the information you already provided in the conversation. Or if you had a profile set with your ChatGPT, ChatGPT can remember many details that you give it. Over time, it learns from your conversation and keeps a record. You could also say, complete this resume from this template with information you know about me. Or if you don't know what the ChatGPT knows about you, you can just ask ChatGPT, what do you know about me? And the ChatGPT will give you a list of what it knows about you. And then you should probably fill it with the information. Give all the information you want to give, but you still have to be cautious about giving too many personal details to ChatGPT because, you know, how it's going to be trained with the data. So yeah, you have to be cautious, but if you want, you can use this if you don't think that your data is much valuable. Anyway, so the template, from the template, my cover letter and resume is done. Now let's see how it was. Okay, so we got our resume at first. Then on page blank, and we got our cover letter. Now this is not perfect yet. I did ask for this to be in the middle. So yeah, I guess I just have to edit it. So bring it in the middle. Much better. Maybe I should give it a background. So get this. And then look up. Anyway, so yeah, you should edit it after the ChatGPT provided all of the thing that you needed. So this is how you write it. This is how you write your resume, which is very much ATS friendly. And this is how you write your cover letter from template. So the exact look of this cover letter won't be reflected in a response, but the ChatGPT will provide a version that you can easily arrange it in this way. Like the name, it's a bold name that is on the side, but ChatGPT can't write it this way, so it just wrote a bold name. You can easily keep it in one side and keep the other information on the side. All right, so this is how you write your template. This is how you write your resume and cover letter. The next thing that is yet to remain is email. Now for email, you could search for email template too. Open a new tab and search for a new email template. This email template. And you want to be a bit professional, so maybe it's better if you write professional email template. And you'll be able to see there's lots of them. So this is a template, as you can see. And this template is about a meeting invitation, a performance review, a promotion transfer announcement, saying thank you. This is a professional outreach template where you introduce yourself, business introduction, job inquiry, cover letter, personal reference letter, post-interview thank you. So you should probably use one of the two. Either it's post-interview thank you and job inquiry. I'm going to go with job interview thank you. Copy it, paste it in ChatGPT. Use this template to write me an email for the job. I can say this, or I can get a bit more detailed prompt. Go to glenn.com and search for email. And this will give you lots of email prompt. You can copy it from here, or you can go to ChatGPT or any kind of prompt library. You can actually search for prompt library for email. So there's Glenn, there's Anthropic. All of those are providing emails, template, or prompt. So yeah, I'm just going to copy it and paste it along with this command. Now this should give me a more diverse result. Let's see what it gives me. This prompt specifies the tone, details, organization, language, closing, and subject line. So yeah, to get the best of the ChatGPT, you should probably use template as an example. This is also an example of P-shot prompting, which is giving on or two or more complex example to guide the ChatGPT to your need. Yeah, this is how you write your email make a template, and you can also write resume and cover letter with ChatGPT using template and prompt, a good prompt. You can also search for prompt for writing resume and or writing cover letter. And if you combine the best prompt with the best template, you're bound to get the best result. So this is it, folks. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Have a good day. Hey, hope you're having a good day. Today we'll be talking about AI coach or assistant, which means we'll be using AI as our personal coach or an assistant. And let me show you how we can do it very effectively and get the best result. So whenever you're talking to some coach or assistant, you probably want them to be an expert of their field. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to convince the AI that they are the expert of their field. So I'll just say, suppose you are an expert in life coaching or assistant service, whatever you want to say. And then include your goal. What do you want to do? What kind of coaching do you want? Suppose you want a coaching. Suppose you want a coach for productivity. So I'll just say explain and give suggestion for my productivity. Prioritize time management and scheduling. Here you can use different kind of tool I can use. Give me some tools that I can use. Give me something to stay motivated to reach my goal. Design a weekly or monthly, whatever time frame you record, just have to ask it. For me, it's going to be weekly, so I'm just gonna say weekly here. And whatever this routine should include. For me, it's going to include morning check-in, weekly reflection, habit tracking, motivational reminder, and a good tone from you. You could also ask it to focus more on daily tasks, time blocking, work, and mention possible obstacle. Okay, so that'll be it from me. Now let's see what kind of result it gives me. So as you can see, this is giving me tons of information with some tools that I can use for daily blocking and even scheduling, which should use Google Calendar, Notion or Evernote cards, setting up goals, habit tracking, and journaling. Trello or ClickUp to task management and prioritize work. You can also use Focus app, different kind of like Forest and Focus to do, Habitka or gamified habit tracking to make progress fun. Now, our main routine is about start from morning, and it does have a three priority. One thing you're grateful for, and some motivational thing. So at 8 to 9, I was suggested to do some deep work in the morning, some creative work that I do personally recommend everyone. And then from 9 to 9:30, I should see some emails and contact our admin for work. And from 9 to 9:30 till 11, I should focus on task B that I secondarily do that require much less focus. All right, and from 11 to 12, I should do a meeting and collab. So this is what they are requesting or suggesting. There's also something called time blocking that mean limit some work for the time being, like games or TV, or could be constraint of limitation. There is a motivational thing that I could display daily on my phone, make it one, and possible obstacle or solution. I could feel overwhelming. I could lack motivation, but revisiting why would use our accountability partner. Too many distraction. I shouldn't use too many apps, just focus on the focus app that is recommended. Skip routine. You should not skip routine. It's a habit should be consistent or the routine won't work. Burnout. Schedule downtime. Let's it's task. All right. And we do have a check-in in the morning and evening. And in the middle, we should do some work that is related to my job. So this is a good routine and what I would expect from a coach. Actually, better in organization. So yeah, this is what I'm getting for free from using ChatGPT. Now, this is only part one. We can also use assistant. And for assistant, I can tell the ChatGPT to act as an executive assistant, which will help me plan and track my work, set appointment. And for setting appointment, they will ask me to recommend me some app. They will also prioritize my health or relationship or finance in day-to-day life. And I'll be reminded of some tasks constantly if there's a high priority. So these are not so different, coach or assistant, but I think assistant is a bit more fun. Anyway, so that'll be it. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Hope you learned something new and gonna use this prompt very correctly if you wanna do the thing right for you. If this is you who likes to take all of his decision just with a flip of a coin, well then you need to stop. You need to be more analyzing. You need to consider both of the option, do an argument, and do some iteration. Maybe you'll get the right answer. Well then, to help you out, there's this tool called ChatGPT, which can help you analyze all of your option and all of your argument. Now let's see how can this ChatGPT help you. Well, this AI can help you do all of the analyzation and all of the argument for you. So suppose you want to talk to an expert on giving suggestion. But first, you need to figure out what kind of problem you're facing. Is it a problem with your life? Or is it a problem with your career? Or is it a problem with your finance? Well, whatever it is, you should ask ChatGPT to roleplay that kind of problem coach. So I'm just going to say, suppose you are a expert career coach. And you should give me some suggestion and answer some question Now, even ask me a question. Anything that might be helpful. So, should I change job or skill or learn more? Which will be better? A more detailed explanation or instruction would be like, explain pros and cons of your choices. Show long-term and short-term consequences. What I might regret not doing, and a confidence score of 0 to 100%. All right, so this is how you should extract it. Now, the fun thing and the final thing that you should give is your problem. So what is the problem you're facing? And what are the choices? You should mention it. When if you can't find the choices, you should ask the ChatGPT to find the choices and give you some choices. All right, so my problem is I am a graduate. I'm a bachelor graduate. And my degree was CSE, Computer Science Engineering. But I'm not much good with coding or programming. And I don't have time to learn more because due to a situation, I need to pick a job. Which job can I get? You think? So yeah, this is my problem, this is my question, and this is the category that you all should follow like a template, like this. Obviously, correct this mistake I had, don't make the same mistake. And even if you do that, yeah, it's going to correct you anyway. So let's see what are the result that I get on this. Okay. So the AI is asking me questions. Should you change job to develop skill or just get a job quickly, even if it's not skill building? And now we have some option. First job is take any job for now for income, even if it's low skill, unrelated. The pros should be immediate income, mental relief. I don't have to stress over why I'm a useless person who's still living in my mom's basement. No leaning curve, and in the short term, this will be income very low, and no growth. But if it's really emergency, I should just take the immediate job or choose a skill building job or internship, even low pay to grow career-wise. What it didn't do, oh, all right, so it did give us a confidence score. So this is my profession. What job can you get? Take a second job. SMEM QA tester, manual, for entry-level role. IT support, help desk, technical recruiter, data labeling or annotation, and customer support for tech companies. So it does have 80% confidence rate for this. And non-tech but short-term income job. Delivery, remote assistant, call center, typing job. Something like this. And it has a 90% come rate that I can find this within 1 or 2 weeks. And it recommended a hybrid type of job that does help me build my skill along with getting a better pay. So as you can see, this is a detailed and really authentic argument. And this really helped. So yeah, if you want to do it for your own problem, you should probably do it with your problem. Just copy this and instead of expert career, write your own problem. It could be private. It could be from family. It could be a general problem. It could be financial or life decision. Anything, whatever it is, just focus on explaining this purport or this 4 point. This will make everything much easier to understand for you. Alright, so that was all from me. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it and it made shift your perspective a little bit. Thank you. Have a good day. Hey, hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Today we'll be talking about something that is rarely talked about, studying, and how we can use AI to do a better study, learn faster, and remember more. Okay, so by the end of this video, I think you'll be able to do a lot of things like generating flashcards, generating quizzes, doing mock tests with AI, transcribing video, and a lot of things that will be useful for your study. Okay, so then let's talk about it. Suppose I want to learn about Python. This is in my syllabus. I have to learn about Python. So can I just tell the AI to teach me about Python? Yeah, let's do it. Teach me about Python. Okay, so the answer I already got is more than good. Very good answer. But the thing is, this still might be a lot to take in for many people. So what I recommend people to do most of the time is, well, make it free. Make it free of Python. And then ChatGPT often gives us a free, and it's really easier to understand this way because it lays out the foundation and it can work as a syllabus. Now, if I want to know more about this, I can copy this part and paste it and say, tell me about it more. And the ChatGPT will tell me about it more. And if you're done with this part, I'll probably want to learn about variable and data types. So, okay, go ahead, copy that, paste it here. Okay, so I wrote done when I was done with syntax and indentation. But when I want to talk about variable and data type, I said focus here because I'm done with this. Now I want to learn about this. I was talking about variable and data type in Python. Now you can do this and keep doing it. At some point, you won't have to say done and done every time. So all you have to do is select input output and tell me more. Now it will focus on just input and output. This way you can learn the whole system and set a good foundation for your programming skill here. Now, if you want to do something else, you probably like some of the YouTube video, but you don't have time to watch the 2-hour-long video. So what you should do is go to YouTube and check out your favorite video. Suppose this is my favorite video, although it's not. Okay, so here, as you can see, I have a transcription of the whole video. Now, why do I have that and you don't? Well, because I installed an extension called NodeGPT that can be found if you just search nodegpt.io, or you can go to Chrome Web Store and add it to Chrome. And after you reload your Facebook page, your YouTube page, you'll see that there's transcription. You can just copy it. You have to have an account though. And after copying it, you can head over to ChatGPT and say that, make it free. Or explain step by step. All you have to keep in mind that step-by-step learning is the best way of learning. So don't ever say it, teach me more. Well, tell me more, like this. You should probably say, explain step by step or explain in chain of thought. That just really help better. Okay, so now you know how to transcribe this part, transcribe the video. Let's talk about something else, mind map. This is a website called mymap.ai/mindmap. Here you can just say about the same thing. Python roadmap and create a mind map. As you can see, this AI is really good at creating your mind map. And when it's done, this will give you some option. You can ask AI about this. And this will be a lot more than it was before. There'll be more information here. Although I do have to open an account, which I don't have yet. So yeah, I think you got the idea what you should do and what you can do. Now, some things that has been left out is generating flashcard. Now, after you're done studying this, you should probably want to test yourself. How much good or bad are you in this specific topic? So to test yourself, you could just say that mock test, or you could ask it to generate flashcard. Generate flashcard. So here is your flashcard that you can do. Or if you want to create your mock test, you should probably go ahead and just ask it. Give me test or 30-minute question only and be ready to check the answer. Okay, so here's my quiz. All you have to do is select it to the test yourself, and you could answer like this, Q1, A. I mean, the answer will be B, C. So yeah. Okay, as you can see, I have passed the test. And this is how you do it. You generate flashcard, you do your mock test by yourself. And this is how you make your study easier, learn faster, remember better. I hope you liked this video and it shifted your mind a bit. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about summarization. How we can use AI to summarize your article, books, or video. Now, the ChatGPT is capable machine or program, but it doesn't have the capability to do all things, not with just limited token that you have in your free tier. So either you can buy your premium subscription or you can follow this video. So for article, You can actually use ChatGPT directly to use an article. Okay, to summarize your article, you should probably choose an article. I'm going to choose article for Walder 2 or Walder 3 actually. It's much more interesting. Okay, so here you go. I'm just going to copy the link and paste it. To summarize this. Now, it will go to that web page and give me a summarized version of this. We can also ask it to make a bullet point and free from this. This will make things much smoother. Now, these things are becoming really easy for me to understand. And here's a tree structure. Okay, so now you know how you can summarize and make your article easier. If you don't have time to read for long, you can use this. Now, where can you use book summarization? Well, if you have a premium subscription, you can actually upload from here. Add photos or file, you can upload it. But since I don't have, I will use NoteGPT. Oh, sorry, not NoteGPT. I use ChatPDF. Here I can upload my PDF file and understand what's in there. Or there's also another site called GPT PDF. Okay. And this is how it's worked. So this is a book of 9 pages, built with many kind of example or rules. And I don't know where to start. So let's start about give me some basic idea. What is this book about? Now the idea is given here and we can start here. The same goes for here. We can actually tell it to make a tree. Well, it's not that capable, I guess. So you can still ask a question to summarize this book, like, what does it say? Or transaction. As you can see, it can find all the answer from here. I mean, it could have given me any kind of transactional answer, but it does exactly what's in the book, but in different way. The book says we define an electrical coin as a chain of digital signature in the transaction section. And the answer in the PDF file says an electronic coin is defined as a chain of digital signature. Each owner transferred the coin to next digital signing hash in the previous transaction. I mean, this is the thing that is being reflected here. So yeah, this is how you can summarize the book or ask question about the book. Okay, you cannot actually summarize the whole book at once, but you can ask a question about the book. Now, how we can summarize the video? We're done with books, we're done with article. For video, I recommend you to look for NodeGPT. This is a really powerful tool and that is mostly free. And even if your free tires go off, you can still use it for some reason and know how. So you should look for nodegpt.io like this and go to the Chrome Web Store. And after you're done going there, you should add it to your Chrome. Clicking here. Now, it's already added to my Chrome, so I'm not going to click it or it's going to remove my extension. So after you're done with this, go to YouTube, look for your video. And you can copy this. This is a transcription that all the video is saying. You can click copy and paste it in your ChatGPT and then ask it to summarize it. And that should do the job. So now you know how you can summarize video, book, or any kind of article. Read it faster, memorize it faster, remember more. If you like this video, thank you for watching and have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk about my preparation technique that I often follow before my exam or when I'm going to interview for a job. So this is how I work. I keep my syllabus beside me where I can see them. And I copy them one by one and paste it into ChatGPT. And I ask them to tell me about it more in a structured manner and in step by step. And the ChatGPT keep going about this and keep telling me about how I should do it step by step. And if you look at this, this is going to be much harder in every step. As you can see, it's from 2-line to 4-line. And now I have to study something for the next step, understand this, and step 4 goes even harder. So this is a step-by-step studying method. And if I don't understand anything about this, I can just ask it to generate a tree. Generate a tree. Or Python. Now, with tree structure, it becomes much more easier and clear to me. And which branch is connected to which branch. Okay, so suppose I'm done with studying this. Now, what I want to do is ask it to generate some flashcard. Okay, so here are my flashcard that I can use. Or I can also use a mock test. I asked it to generate a mock test of 30 minutes, which will have 30 questions. And I will just keep answering them. And when I'm done, I'll just write the answer in this way, honestly. And let the AI check my answer. Was it correct? Yes. That is correct answer. So as you can see, we couldn't have done it without AI. AI had made it easier to study, made it easier to test ourselves, and it's much easier to understand our capability with this. Now, there's also a conversational AI that we can use. It's not available in my version of the desktop app. So if it's available to you, you can use this microphone to talk with the AI and ask it to act as the interviewer for Tesla company who is hiring intern or programmer. Now you should ask it in the voice mode, and then it will start talking to you. And then this will also give you some idea how confident or how much confident you need to get past the bar. And then this will also give you some idea what kind of question you might face in the interviews. So this is how I correct myself again and again to different kind of iteration and taking the test and studying again. Go through all of that. But there is some other tool that can help you more, like Mind Map AI, where you write something and it gives you a mind map. All right, so this site is busted. So let me try another website. I'm going to go with mine.ai. And here I'm going to write Python roadmap variable. Python variable, just a variable, not the whole roadmap. And let's see how much accurate result I get from this. It's not about accuracy, it's just about making things easier, I guess. Mhm. Or you can use flashcard generator. As you can see, you can upload, practice, and test yourself. Or you can write here. For example, I'm just going to repeat this. And as you can see, my flashcard has been generated. Folder 1. Folder 1 would be 1918. Well, the tuition of Waldorf, it wasn't the it's not my fault. But you get the idea how you should test yourself and do all those things before interview or take exam preparation, and how it become much easier with AI to do all that. So I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. So I had a business plan a couple of days ago. But the thing is, I didn't know what to do with it. And I did some research, and I found that it was really easy to get some investor or get some grant. You wanted that if you have a good plan. So if this is you who has also a good plan about some kind of business, they wanted to start, maybe you should watch this video. So suppose you are the person who had this grand business plan was going to change the world for a better. So, and you are really confident that this is going to catch the attention of the investor or people who will give you grant. So what you should do to reach out to them and tell them about your proposal. Well, yeah, that's the word, proposal. You have to write a proposal and keep them to it. Before writing a proposal, you should probably write everything that you have in your mind in a paper, and that we'll call business plan. So number one, what you have to do is write a business plan. And number two, you have to do is write a business proposal. So let's check one step at a time. So we'll go with writing a business plan. How do you do it? Well, to write a business plan, you go to Google. You go to Google and look for a business plan template for free. Go to Microsoft.com and template they're sharing. Select one. Download it. Oh, not true. So I have this business plan that I can use as a template. You can do one of those two things. Either you can Control A and Control C it, which means select all and copy it and then paste it into the ChatGPT and tell this about your problem, your business plan. My business plan is to create an organization that calls itself a club. A club because people can feel part of being a club, but not part of being a company or organization. The goal of the club will be making people aware of recycling and take trashes from the people to recycle it and create new product. People will receive a benefit from the trash because we will be using the trash to create a new product. This way, no trash will be wasted. So this is my idea, and that was my template. So I'm going to say, is my idea to write a business plan like the template. Well, this is a problem that you might face, that your message or text is too long for ChatGPT. You can also use this kind of thing in Gemini. It's going to give you a better result, I think. But you can also, another thing, first you need to close this file and then add on this. Now all you have to do is write your business plan again and say this. Write me a business plan with that template. Like that template. So as you can see, there was this reading document update. It read the document and it's already creating my business plan out of the simplest business idea that I could give. So when it will be done, I'll just say that give me a Word file decorate it with your generated business plan. I'll let it finish writing, and then when it's done, I'll create the enter. And by that time, let's explore other option. Step two, and which was to find to write a business proposal. So what I have to do is look for business proposal template. You can go to Prospects. Here you can find tons of business proposal in different categories, for example, service consulting, marketing, real estate, and so on. So choose one of this, and you will see two options, download template and use in Prospects. So you can either download it, you have to open an account, or you can use it online. And of course, you can do all of those two things, either copy everything or just upload the template to your ChatGPT. What I'm going to do is copy the whole thing. Control C. And I'll paste Control V here, but write me a business proposal with this template. On my idea. The idea has been already given to this conversation, so I didn't need to repeat it. But if you're using a different conversation, you should probably copy it from that conversation and paste it in here. Now let's see what is happening here. It's actually analyzing this file, this text. And the Word file that I wanted is ready here. Let's see how it did. As you can see, all colored and decorated. And it contains 11 pages just from this small business idea that I have given. Of course, it cannot be the final version. You updated it, and I'll do a lots of iteration. But here's something that I just want to recommend you. And that is go step by step. What I mean is go to your template, look for different category. Could be from introduction, could be from executive summary. And tell the AI to generate an executive summary. Generate an executive summary with 300 word from my idea. Now what this does is gives you more control and gives you more accuracy over your template or plan. So as you can see, when I use the proposal from the template and get my idea, the proposal is ready in docx file. Now, if you get a satisfactory result, that's on you. You are lucky. But if you don't get any satisfactory result, you should go with this. Go to your content and look for what are the content that are in the template. Select one of that, copy it. Well, if you can't copy it like me, you can just write it here. and then ask it to generate that kind of thing like executive under 300 word from my idea for the business plan. Now here's a more controlled and more accurate executive summary you have here. If you want to go further, that you want to do market analysis, go ahead. Copy this and say generate a market analysis summary. Generate a market analysis with 300 word from my idea for the business plan. As you can see, this will be done in no time. It's taking a little bit longer, but it's giving us the result with more certainty, more accuracy. Now let's take a look at our business proposal. What do we have here? We have everything what we wanted. It actually gave us a name Circle Club. Okay. And it started with letter. Okay, so it did follow the template and came up with excellent result. I don't think I need to edit it much further. But yeah, if you have the bad luck that I had with the business plan, you can just go step by step and generate it with the generative AI. All right, so this is how you do your thing. Generate or write a business plan or write a business proposal with AI. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a good Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to talk about something really important and one of those emerging technology that is quickly taking over everywhere. And it's probably one of the first thing that is actually replacing human way. I mean, we all had those assistant, a virtual assistant or a in-person assistant. If you're running a business, you're familiar with it. But they were not really much active because you had to call tons of time to get a hold of them. If you're running a service, if you're trying to get to a service, suppose you're trying to call a doctor and the doctor has a virtual assistant or an assistant. Now you'll have to call 2 or 3 times, even 10 times, even a whole day, if depending on doctor's popularity, to get a hold of the doctor. And before doctor, you have to go through the assistant. Now that's a problem because we don't have much that time. We don't have that much time. So that is why those customer support agents are quickly being replaced. But anyway, if you are running a business and trying to make it cheaper than anywhere else, you should probably focus on your growth. So a topic is how we can provide best developed customer support with ChatGPT. Okay, so let's talk about it. You called some time ago to your pizza guy and you received it instantly. You started talking in Spanish and he replied in Spanish. He didn't say no habla español. But the chances are that wasn't even a human. Chances are that was an AI. Really convincing and sweet tone that is very unnatural, that is being used everywhere. Anyway, so this is how you do it. If you're gonna learn about more use cases, go to this website called Intercom. If you're trying to give customer support, you should probably go to Zendesk. A version of Zendesk is integrated with ChatGPT. Now, what Zendesk does is give you customer support. As you can see here, I have the Zendesk.com service. It's advertising itself as a customer service solution. Zendesk has a built-in AI that uses the API of ChatGPT to help you resolve your request from day one. You can see their product as AI agent, automation, messaging, and even live chat support, voice support, and they do have quality assurance. Which means this is going to be better in every day. So yeah, if you are just trying to give your customers some support through voice or chatbot, consider using Zendesk. This is one of the many solutions that we have available in the market or in the web. Now, if you're trying to get a hold of your customer through email, you should probably go with Freshdesk CPT. As you can see, this is where AI-driven email and ticketing support start. You're going to start trial and see their services. You can do that, or you can actually build your own system that will be much more less costly. It might be even free depending on how you approach your problem. But this does not guarantee that you'll get a better service or it will do things better than anyone else, unless you're a very skilled programmer and have a reputation already. So yeah, based on what kind of service you're looking for, there's a tons of service and solution available for you in the market that uses AI, and you can even use ChatGPT API to do your own work. So that is all from me for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you are having a very good day. I wanted to talk about how can we use AI to improve our internal communication and reports writing. Even though many of us are working actively with this, many of us don't have the idea what we mean by improving internal communication or reports writing. Well, let me give you an idea what it is and how can we improve all of that with AI. Now let's see what is those word mean, improving internal communication and report. Well, it could include email writing and report writing, summarizing meeting or documents. It could be translating our communication across different team member or external affair. Or it could be about ensuring consistency, speed, and clarity, and documenting it. So as you can see, all of those things that have been described here is part of AI that can do much better work. Email writing, reports writing, just give the AI some data. It will do the work for you. Summarizing meeting or document, let the AI hear your conversation. It will summarize your meeting and create a document out of it. Google has an online and active service that currently released. They're supporting real-time translation and communication accuracy. Although Samsung brought it first, but Google is taking the lead here. And all of that, when everything is good and ready, it does ensure consistency, speed, and clarity. So, how does this AI improve our internal communication? Well, we do have email, which the AI can polish them, and see through our ear. Then the AI can also summarize our meeting. If you just let the AI hear it, it can create report and memos from those summarization and the meeting description. It can also do real-time language translation and create a knowledge management system. Let's go through all of them step by step, how we can make use of the AI to do a specific task at a time, and what will be the best tool for that. First of all, we'll talk about email drafting and polishing. With email drafting and polishing, there's tools like ChatGPT, which is obviously true, and Outlook Copilot. It's email a smart reply. All of those tools does support email drafting and polishing. They can write professional and clear email faster than any human could. They can reword or simplify complex languages. Or if you have to adjust into a different tone, those tools can do it. And it can maintain those level of consistency and tone. If you need to summarize meeting, there's tools like Otter AI, Fireflies AI, or Notion AI. Those tools can auto-generate summaries from meeting and extract action like item, key point, and follow-ups, which could be much more helpful when generating memos, which also can be done by AI. Internal remote report and memos can be done with AI. Simple tools like ChatGPT with Excel and Microsoft Copilot can do it. They can generate report from data or notes, create charts and summary instantly, and make technical info understandable. But the catch is sometimes those services are not in free tier, so you might have to purchase a premium tier, or if you already have it, then congratulations. Real-time language translation. Now, this is one of the recent technology that is speeding up. It's not very recent, it was here, but it's developing really fast. We already have DeepL, ChatGPT, that can do real-time language translation in a conversational way. Then we do have Microsoft Team translation, and currently we have received the Google real-time translation, and we did have Samsung real-time translation, where a person can translate via call. So yeah, it can also translate messages across the global meeting. Take one of suppose a person in an English-speaking group is talking in Spanish and he does not have any idea how to use English. So this is where those tools can help us. They can listen to the Spanish and translate it in real time within probably 2 or 3 second delay and broadcast it to everyone. Now, this can be done in reverse. You can listen to everyone speaking in English and translate them to Spanish in real time and let the guy who was speaking in Spanish hear them. This improved cross-regional communication vastly, and the barrier of language almost disappeared. Knowledge management and search. Ask a natural question to find company info, create internal GPT or documents and policies. Tools like Notion AI, custom GPTs, and Haystack Bot can help you with this. This is an example how some little amount of data was given to AI, and this was the result of their report writing, which made us a weekly summary, a bullet formatting, chart, and tone polishing. So what are the benefits that we learn? We do have faster writing, more clarity, global access, and less strict. Since we're doing all the work in less time and with more accuracy, we're just simplifying our professional writing, and it's giving us more time to do the things that we love to do. But there are some limitations. Since AI is not very perfect yet, it does have a huge potential, but it's not there yet. So what are the limitations and the catch that we have to avoid? Well, let's review the AI output that the AI gives us. Don't paste sensitive info in public tools. Suppose you had to give the AI about your public information, and the AI is giving you the information output based on your information. But you have to be careful and take a look at the output and see if this information is not out with the output of AI. This prompt template for consistency. If you're having a good result with some specific prompt, you should save it in clip. Just Ctrl+C to copy it, and if you press Ctrl+V, there will be a clipboard button. You can pin it there. It will be there. Or you can just go into the website, go into any website that is offering prompt library. Take the prompt library, copy it, and use it all the time. There are also websites that are offering prompt template. You can also use that. Anyway, you can also train your staff on effective prompting just by giving them necessary syllabus and with custom GPTs that you have built from your organization. So yeah, that'll be all from me. Thank you. Hope you learned something new. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Today I'll talk about blog post, social media content, and video script writing. So let's talk about that. I know you all have some kind of idea how to write a blog post or You all had written in social media, and some of us did write video script. But the thing is, many of us don't know how to do market research, is optimization, and proper trend researching. Many of us don't know what is key difficulty is. So this is where I am here. I'll show you how can you use AI to introduce yourself to different kind of research facility that you haven't before and gain more attraction from your audience. All right, so many of us already started using AI and know how to do some basic prompt like write me a prompt, write me a blog post about new technology. Now this already looks very good. It does have a structured output, like it does have a differentiable headline and descriptive paragraph that is easy to read, and it does enhance user experience. But the thing is, it can be a better idea to use a bit more details, like I can just copy this and paste it again, and this will give me a bit better results because I added a bit more details like this. So I said, do a little bit research about trending topic and keyword that has lower KD, which means key difficulty, and take idea from most read trending blog post and a list that made changed and development from previous version of this. Now the last line, this will help us understand what changed, and this will help ChatGPT to understand what to make change up and if it did it correctly. All right, let's see what are the results now. Okay, as you can see, it's using emoji to show its appreciation. All right. So the best thing I already noticed about it is it does have a citation, which means it did a bit of research and included the source here. Now let's see what are the source and what are the changes it made that we don't know. Okay, it forgot to include it. So let me ask it again. I'm just gonna copy and paste the last line. So this version has made change in topic. In previous version, it generalized to repeated topic like AI growing beer, school, something like that. But now with the updated information, it is focusing on specifically 2025, like AI code assistant, living intelligence, green IT, and AI governance platforms. And what it made beneficial is more relevant, forward-looking, and fresh content. Since I was looking for new content, new technology, so updating it actually does make it a better content. Keyword targeting, broad, high converted keyword like new technology, AI trend, integrated low KD, which means low keyword difficulty trending, AI code assistant, living intelligence, and green artifacts, neuromorphic computing that is easier to rank in search result. Which means not only this version will come on top, but this will also be on top in search result. Okay, so data freshness, yeah, previous data was outdated. It was from 2023 to 2024, but with this prompt, this data is only limited to 2025. So there's lots of new thing that is added according to my prompt. So as you can see, more details you add, more better it gets. But there's a problem actually. The problem is you copy this and look into AI scanner, you'll see that it's not much of a writing because it scan and shows AI generated content. And this could be a red flag for your audience because they think you're not a creative person. Now, we don't want them to think that. Let's see if it's actually true. Yeah, it's 100% AI generated content. But the problem is, we can't actually post this online because some of us is going to look at this and think that this is an AI generated content. The author doesn't have any creativity. But the most part, that will be true. Now, if you have some kind of money, I do advise you to purchase a version or package in software or site like this. There's undetectable, there's just AI undetect, and there's X.ai. That is converting agent text to humanized text. So what I have to do is copy it and paste it here and try to humanize it and see if it gives us a better result. Well, it's trying auto-perfecting. Okay, let me check now. Still AI content, but you get the idea. This isn't actually a paid service. So if you pay for the thing, I will recommend you to pay for Undetectable AI. This software I have used before and it actually does the work. It does humanize it. Just click AI Humanizer by package there and do it. And you will see that this AI generated content will be humanized versions and no matter. All right. So now you have this idea. So if you can do this, do it. And if you can't afford it, there's actually a better idea. That is to rewrite the version by your hand. So you were actually looking for idea. Now ChatGPT has given you idea. So now if you had the idea, I think it's better to write anything by yourself. So it says artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept. It's a present day reality that's transforming software development, AI-powered code assistant like GitHub, Copilot, blah, 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 ChatGPT code interpreter, streaming line code processing. So this is talking about AI in code. So I can just say this, AI in coding language. Instead of writing all that, I can say all of that in my own personal language like GitHub, Copilot is being really helpful. Coder spend around 55% programmer already using GitHub Copilot. There's also Amazon Code Whisper, Chat GPT Code Interpreter, which are becoming much more common. It's enhancing code completion and debugging capability. higher accuracy and debugging. Now, if I have enough content, let me see if this is being detected as AI. No, this is 0% AI, but all you have to do from here is understand what are the trending keyword that was used and input those keyword. My keyword was simply the GitHub Copilot Amazon Code Whisperer, which is being one of the trending keyword right now. And I included it in the text. So this is still SEO optimized, and this is AI content free. Now you can post this, or you have to write all of that obviously and post this into your website or blog. So yeah, this is how you do it. Yeah, it's the same thing for video script and social media writing. So this is making everything faster, giving you better ideas, and doing everything just a little bit better than before. Okay, so that will be all of it from me. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. So you're an artist, or you're a writer, you're a poet, or you're an artist, and you do have some ideas that can be the next phenomenal thing, the next trending thing in the world. You could be the star of the next world and the next era. But the thing is, you don't have the idea that you once had. Or you have half of the idea, but you have no idea how to finish your work. Now, because some people have this, I have created this mind map. This map guides us how to write or how to cover a story or a design, an art with different kind of topic that is related to art. Well, according to this mind map, first of all, you need to pick an emotion that you want to convey with your story or poem or your art. Because without an emotion, an art won't be like it. We tell a story, we show art because we are telling a story and we're trying to show our emotion through our work. So your art should express any of that: love, freedom, grief, chaos. After you're done with picking all of that, go pick a theme or a genre. I'll pick freedom, and for my genre, I'll pick fantasy. Now I have to decide what the word I actually do. Am I going to write a story, or am I going to write a poem? Or am I going to use my canvas to design the next masterpiece? Well, it's up to you, but if you design a masterpiece with your canvas, be sure to describe which story you want. Are you trying to tell a story? Or are you just trying to be an engineer? Show some function of the mechanics. Or are you trying to show your product or service? If you're a poet, be sure to express your core emotion, because poem is the best thing that convey emotion through words. And if you're a storyteller, then you have lots of work. You have a world to build, you have a character to develop, you have a plot to spread, and you have a really good focus on that you can use to find your good ending. Correct. If you have all of those figured out, I want you to go through emotional flow section. This is where you will convey your emotion through a form or a function or some kind of creative output that nobody knows. All right, so if I have to write a story or write something, I'll probably pick freedom. And then I'll pick fantasy. I'll go through character development arc, and I'll tell a story, which will take the form of a man. I'm going to use Copilot for this. because Copilot has unlimited access to token, and I can generate unlimited images with this. So this is much easier to just show you in this way. All right. So as I said, I wanted a story about freedom. It's a fantasy, and character development is the main thing. And I want the story to be flow and the emotion to come out of the word. I want my emotion to flow with word. So this is what I'm going to write, flow with word. After that, I'm going to write the part of a story that I have an idea of. I mean, it's not a beginning for me. It's just ending that I'm struggling with. So I'm just going to write the part of a story that I know. A slave is stuck in an island, waiting for his master to come and take him home. Even though you will just work there, and this is the rest that is going to get probably in his whole life. But he wants to be near people. A slave who is lonely. Now I'll ask ChatGPT or a Copilot to finish the story with their relative theme. Finish this with... Okay, so that is my theme and topic. But the thing is, I don't want ChatGPT or AI to finish my story. I want to have some idea. This is the video about. I'm trying to brainstorm some idea. So this is what I'm going to do. Instead of asking it to finish it, I'm just going to say, give me 4, 5, or 10 iteration of this ending. Give me 10 iteration of this story ending. Okay. So this is the core thing or definition of idea. I mean, how are you so different from an AI? I often think about that, and I reach actually a same conclusion every time, because the answer I get is really close to an AI and human brain, which is not much different. AI can generate ideas, but we can decide which is the best idea, because we have a purpose. And when AI have a purpose, and AI can decide which idea does match the best with its purpose, then I think AI is going to be conscious. If I get the grasp of conscious now, this another thing about what is the consciousness. All right, so moving on. As you can see, there's a 10 iteration. The journey home, the heart of the island. If you read all of that to you, the master arrived expecting obedience, but the slave has spent his time wisely, sharpening blade, crafting crab, preparing. As the master fetched food on the island, he stepped into snare. The role reversed, the slave is no longer with, he's taking control. Well, this isn't the ending I was just looking for. I was looking for a kind-hearted slave with actually fond of love and respect, and don't want to be alone, even though you have to work hard. Anyway, there will be a lot of iteration, and you will get tons of idea from this. This is how you should get the idea from an AI. And not to be using those AI in your work, because otherwise, as an artist, you probably have a mark of creativity, a name for your creativity. And if you use the AI for your work, then this creativity is going to be destroyed. And the people who respect you for your creativity is going to abandon you. So be careful. This thing can literally destroy your career as a creative person or an artist. So yeah, this is how you should use an AI. Same goes for art. If you want an art, or if you're going to draw art, ask ChatGPT to draw you or give you some idea about art. And ChatGPT will give you lots of idea by generating its own art. Now, what you should do is not copy those art, but take inspiration. Take inspiration from an unique art that doesn't include in the museum. Okay, so this is how you do it. Hope you got the idea. I hope you liked my video on explanation. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. So you're probably an artist who is trying to make music. But the thing is, you don't have enough instrument, even though you have passion. You don't have the knowledge or instrument or motivation or ideas to write a genre or write a lyrics. Now, this is where the AI comes in. Do you know that you can generate your lyrics with AI? Okay. So first, all you have to do is pick your theme. What do you want to express? If you're an artist, whatever art you're conveying or writing, all you have to have is passion for expressing your emotion. So what kind of emotion you want to convey to people? For example, if it were me, I'd probably say freedom. And next thing is, what kind of genre are you looking for? Is it country music? Is it heavy metal? Or is it rap? Or is it some generic jazz music? I think for me it will be jazz music. And the next thing is there any foundation you want to have in your story or in your music? For me, I think this will be a story about a story that I wrote a long time ago. A guy who writes a song about his wife. He wanted our wife to fly because he was a traveler and he didn't want his wife to hurt her leg. Now, when you have this foundational topic, you have the theme, you have the emotion that you want to convey. Now, all you have to do is ask ChatGPT to write me a song about this. Okay, so here's the song that ChatGPT is writing. But the thing is, you are an artist and you are known for your creativity. So obviously, you don't want your art or music to labeled as AI generated. So here, what you're going to do, you're going to add another line to it, make 5 iterations. And then ask ChatGPT to generate 5 iteration of this. So why 5 iteration? Well, because you're not going to copy and paste the song. As an artist, because you're known as an artist and you're known for your creativity. What you have to do is learn from the story or song that the AI gives you. And from the inspiration, you will write your own song. So yeah, here's iteration 1, 2, 3. This is what you have to do. Write your own song from the inspiration of these lyrics. Now, as I said, you might not have all the instrument you are looking for. So what you do in this situation? All you have to do is go to platforms that are offering musical instrument or music generation with AI. So there are actually some website that are offering this kind of thing. One of them is Suno AI. Here you can generate any kind of music, any kind of instrument, even with your lyrics. So copy and paste the lyrics that you wrote in your Word. I'm just going to copy this version and give it to Suno. Well, I have to create an account, I guess. Okay. Well, I think you got the idea. So when you open an account, the interface will look somewhat like this, more or less. So all you have to do is go to Custom and paste your lyrics that you wrote here. And if you only want the instrument, not the full song, you should probably go with another settings. But if you want the AI to generate your song and then get inspired from this, you should probably paste your whole lyrics and then hit create. The result is here and now it's time to hear it. Hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. This is how I do it. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. I know you are familiar with the word roleplay, but there's a thing that you might not be familiar. That is role-playing with AI. Or you might be familiar, I don't know. Alright, so let me show you why roleplay is better than any other prompt. And why does roleplay gives you better result than using normal prompt. Well, that is because when you ask AI to do a role or play a role, you're assigning AI with a specific persona before a task. And the role-play system will improve its context, tone, and response accuracy. For example, if you ask an AI to analyze some data as a senior analyst, now this will bring a professional tone in its work, and it will do the work more seriously. Not only that, but also you gain context-relevant response that increase lots of clarity for AI and your input. It does bring professional tone and depth, as I said, and it does speed up workflow. And all over, it does help prioritize information. Some of the examples are medical advisor, HR manager, academic tutor, software engineer, or UX designer that you can ask ChatGPT or any other AI to roleplay as. And the example are if you can ask a medical advisor to explain type 2 diabetes to a patient as a medical advisor. You can also ask an HR manager to write a rejection mail as an HR manager. You can ask ChatGPT to play a role of academic tutor and explain Pythagorean theorem to a ninth grader. Whatever you need is you can ask the ChatGPT or any kind of AI to play the role as and give you that information based on that role. Now this will structure the role based on prompt. So here is a structure that you can use as your anatomy or template. So you can say you are the name of role if you want the AI to become a poet, or you can ask the AI to become a journalist or a doctor or a tutor. And you can ask in the follow-up that your job is to do that. If you are referring to him as a doctor, then you can say your job is to take care of patient and audience tone, and then you can add audience tone and output format. For example, you can ask, suppose you are a cybersecurity expert and your job is writing technical audit report. Now write me a technical audit report based on this information. Now you give some information to write the audit. So this is how you do it, and this is the template that you can use again and again. Some of the tips before I go, you should combine user persons and specific context. Use tone format and length constraint. Now the AI can keep going and going forever. But if you use tone format and length constraint, especially length constraint, you're actually limiting the AI from going forever and writing too much. So here are some use cases that can be used. This role play prompt. You can use the role play prompt as a lawyer, as a sales representative, researcher, product manager, and a copywriter. So this will be all. Thank you. Hope you have a good day. And thank you for watching. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing very well. I wanted to talk about multi-prompt workflows and automation, which is a very significant part of prompt engineering. So let's take a look at what I was going to talk about, and I am going to talk about. Well, multi-prompt workflow. What is it? Well, this workflow is a sequence of AI prompts that builds on each other. It's like steps and stages divided into some parts, and this workflow is dependent on previous stage. Stage 1 and stage 2 is dependent on stage 1. And like this, stage 3 to stage 2, 4 to 3, 5 to 3, 5 to 4, like this. So it's a sequence of AI prompts that builds on each other. Each output fits into the next step. Use the output of stage 1 to analyze step 2 and get results from step 2. This kind of workflow is ideal for content creation, research, and analysis. This is not only ideal because it's understandable, but it also boosts efficiency and structure. Which means you don't actually do this to understand your workflow better. You do it to gain more efficiency and structure, and as well as more accuracy. All right. Some example of workflow content creation would be generating outline. Write a blog outline with AI in education. After the AI has given you the results, some form of output, now you'll have to go to step 2 and stage 2 and ask it to expand point into paragraph. After the GPT or Gemini or any kind of AI that you're using done with expanding it into paragraph, now you can say refine tone and flow. So now it's going to refine the tone and flow up the paragraph. Now all you have to do is go to next step, which is for you is create social media caption from the post. So what you are trying to do is get an idea about AI in education and get a more detailed idea with some paragraph. But you wanted it to be sounding much more professional than it is doing now. So you asked it to refine tone and flow. And then when you're done understanding it and ready to apply it to your workflow, you ask it to create a social media caption from the post. And this is how you go through one of the workflow, especially for content creation. Now let's talk about AI automation. And automation, I know you are very familiar with this kind of word. It's a word that defines how a structure or a workflow is being done. Is it manually, is the input coming from other side, outer world, or is it the bot or AI that deciding on its own? Well, running AI task automatically using tool triggered by event or time-based flow, reduce manual input or boost scalability. All of that are part of automation. So AI can automatically use tool, but its decision actually dependent on your input that you'll be given based on event or time. And this kind of automation actually helpful if you're not trying to get involved with your AI bot. Reduce manual input and boost scalability. Since it's doing lots of work on its own, you have time to do lots of other work that you weren't able to do it before. This way you can boost your scalability. So this kind of work actually done for email, ticketing, content, and research. In ChatGPT and Gemini, both offering research option as part of their service currently. You also get a ticket option. Each time you create a token, each time you give a comment. There are websites that are offering emails which send automatically advertising email to your client or potential client. There's also sites like Faceless, Short Video AI. They are creating content, creating images, creating speech, even creating videos and images to create a content. And they are even uploading this content every day just for a small price. All right. Here are some of the use cases where you can use those. One of them is content pipeline in blogs, advertisement, or post, email campaign, and follow-up email. You can also use in market or comparator research, report, and proposals narration. Once you're done with writing your code, you can use AI or use case AI or automation to generate your report or proposal. You can also use this kind of work for data cleaning and analysis. All right. So there is some tool that you can use for automation. There's Zapier, which does the code with ChatGPT without any kind of coding for its automation. Make.com, it's a visual workflow where you connect nodes to make a workflow, and that kind of happen automatically. LangChain build custom AI agent. And Python, obviously, it's not part of the automation. It's more like a programming language, but most of the AI or machine learning algorithm is using Python for its workflow. That's why it was included in here. So there you have it. Now, I hope you have the idea about multi-prompt automation system, why you should use it, how you can use it, all of the idea. Some of the example of market research would be identifying competitor, summarizing strategies, generating comprehensive view, and draft a strategic brief. And it matters because it saves time and effort, standardized output quality, animal iteration and scale, better creator, analyst, and team. So if you're any of that, a creator analyst or a team leader, probably is the best thing for you. Alright, so that was it. I hope you understand what is workflow and automation system, multi-workflow automation system. Hope you liked this video and understood what I was trying to say. Have a good day. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. So you're trying to be a prompt engineer, but you saw that you have to learn and do lots of things that you didn't think that you'd have to. So here's the thing, you don't have to actually know a lot of things. You just have to be a bit creative and learn some few basics. You should learn zero shot, on shot, P shot technique and chain of command or chain of thought. This kind of process, and you can use template, and prompt library for your further use. So how do you do it? Well, this is what I'm going to show you in this video. So stay with me and give me a chance so I can show you how you can exactly do it with the few effort, become a master prompt engineer. So here I go. Suppose I am a master investor and I'm trying to invest in Tesla. I'm trying to buy a stock in Tesla. So I need to know, is it going to gain or lose in next few days? So let's ask the stock market of Tesla about. So yeah, stock market of Tesla. The AI is analyzing and finding the right answer for me. Analysis complete, and I got the result in that is changing in real time. So now I need to know about its gain or losses in the next 3 days. Is it done a prediction for next year days? Okay, so it's saying that it's going to increase or gain by 6.94% from the previous. There's a lot to take in here, a lot to read. I just want to know the price and prediction. So I'm just going to say it. Give me a sharp answer for price and prediction. So the short answer is current price is 362 and reflecting 6.94 increase from previous close. There's still a lot to know here and still a lot to read. I just want an answer in online. So I'm just going to say answer in online. Better. I also want to highlight or make the price or prediction bold. Okay, so it's saying that it now is 362 with the short-term presence as a drop. It's gonna lose a lot by June 1 and it's going to go to 339. So did you see how many iterations I had to go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had to go through 5 iterations. So why not use all of that together and get a good answer like the final one at once, just with one click? Because that is what I mean. Okay. So I'm just going to combine all of that and form my own answer. As you can see it now, this is going to give me a better answer. So what if I use this prompt in another conversation with other AI maybe? Let's see if it gives us the same answer. Well, it took some time, but it did give me around same answer. But it's saying it's expecting a rise, not a fall like previous one. Anyway, there's tons of websites were fetching differently, so it kind of can be happening. And since it has sources, so I cannot blame the AI because it's generating its answer from other website. So as you can see, this prompt is really useful for me. So why don't I save it for later use? Maybe I don't only invest in Tesla. So why not make it a variable? Let's talk. E-days. Maybe I want just 7 days. Maybe I don't want just one line. I want a paragraph, so 5 line. And maybe all the time I won't be needing just bold word. I can actually use italic word or underline. So I'm just going to say italic. The next time when I'm going to use this, I'm just going to replace the number or name from this bracket. So what I'm going to do is copy it and keep it in my clipboard. In it. Done. Now I have a template that I can reuse again and again without any kind of problem. So this is just on where, or you can go to text cortex. Go to the menus and you will be able to see template in customizations section. Here, create a new template. Say stock or whatever you are trying to say. This time you predict and price. So this is going to be one of the input, or it doesn't support input like that. So it does have a stock and time. Okay. So here is my library that I'm going to use, my template that I'm going to use. So start chat. And for stock, I'm going to insert this time NVDF. And for time, I'm going to say 1 month. They're warning that they are not a financial advisor, but they're giving me some answer anyway. So yeah, this is how you use your template again and again, or you can use this website for your search. This does have tons of models or tools that you can use. As you can see, can also change the model. Yeah, so if you are trying to make everything easier, maybe this is going to make things easier more than the AI you're currently using, since this is a combination of all the AI. So this does have a limitation, so all of the AI does have a limitation. Anyway, another thing I wanted to show you is library. So there are library by OpenAI. So let me show you OpenAI prompt library. Here are the prompt library. that the OpenAI has released, but we do have other options like Gemini Prompt Library, Google Prompt Library, Bard Developer. There are other prompt libraries like Anthropic Prompt Library. You can use any of that and make a template out of it. Change the option that you want to change and get output like that. There's a tons of things that you'd know after using the prompt library. The prompt library make everything efficient. And this library and this keyword has been tested before and then posted on the library. So you don't have to worry about this, about its efficiency or if it's genuine or not. Anyway, that was all about the prompt library and making template. I hope you understood what to do and how you can make your AI workflow much smoother and easier and faster. So stay tuned. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about planning a marketing campaign with AI. By the end of this video, I hope you'll be able to do your own campaign because you'll know how to do and how to plan a campaign step by step. Okay then, let's dive in. First of all, to set up a campaign, you need to find an objective for campaign. This objective should include awareness, leads, and sales for KPI. You can use ChatGPT, Notion AI for clarity. And then you can practice with AI by generating a role play or audience persona. In second step, you should do market research for your competitor. Identify your competitor, go to SEMrush or Copy AI. Then look for what are the keywords, what are the advertisement, and what are the strategies your competitors are using. You can actually do it very easily. You can put your website link and your competitor's website all together, and the SEMrush AI will conclude what's the problem. If it's your keyword, it will be told, and if it's your other problem, like advertisement or strategy, the AI will let you know. Content creation with AI. After you're done with market research and after you're done with setting an objective, now what you should do is content creation with AI. Write a blog, ads, emails using ChatGPT, Gemini, Google Cloud Grok, or even Copilot, which is essentially just ChatGPT in disguise. But anyway, you can use DALL-E, Canva, and Midjourney to generate an image. And there's also video editor tools like Runway, Pictory, then there's Sora, and Google Veo 2, 3. These are the things that you can use to create images, and from images you can create your own video, which will be your advertisement. So now you are done with setting your objective. You know totally and fully aware of your objective. You know what your competitor demand and what the audience is demanding through your competitor. And with this information, you put all the elements together in your content, which will be your advertisement for your product or service. Now, when you're done with creating advertising, you should look for audience segmentation, which means to detect user pattern with AI tool, simulate personas with ChatGPT, personalize content by segment. If you have a list of leads that could be a potential customer or could convert to a customer, maybe you should give it to ChatGPT to identify which would be an ideal customer and what kind of customer will most likely to click on your ad. This brings you to content distribution. After you're done with identifying your customer and know which group of people might end up looking at your advertisement or product or service, you might want to schedule with AI what you are going to do, when you're going to release it, and your purpose of it. You can also use AI to find the best of the time. So after you're done with all of that, now by this moment, you have already done everything that was required, from keyword generation to targeting your competitor to targeting your audience to creating your advertisement, and already posted the advertisement for a selected group of people. Now what's left to do is monitoring the campaign, where you will analyze performance with AI, summarize the reported GPT, do some tests, A/B test content with AI insight, and then if there's any change necessary, will probably find out with AI and make the change with AI. Then keep doing it, keep repeating it, unless you find the most and best optimal result. But there's a catch. The catch is you cannot actually never guarantee that this kind of function or this kind of algorithm will always catch the attention of your audience. This changes with time, trend changes with time. So the best thing is to monitoring your data, monitoring your audience, and making change essentially almost every week. And with this, we come closer to the end. But what's left to do here is scale and repeat. Save your workflow as a template because it's working best for you. Automate the next campaign with Zapier, ChatGPT, and refine using performance feedback. Soon as you get feedback, use it to increase your performance. And keep doing it. So that'll be all of it. Thank you. Hope you liked this video. Have a good day.